here's your host, Chelsea Edwards.
Hey, besties! Welcome to another episode of Chattin' with Chelsea. I'm your daytime bestie, Chelsea Edwards. So sometimes the babies are trying to tell us something before they can even form sentences. So today we're chatting about how teaching babies and toddlers sign language can help them communicate, build confidence, and we might be able to prevent a meltdown or two, all right? We've also got an incredible group of ASL interpreters here. They're going to talk about what it takes to do this very important work and why representation matters in the ASL community. As you can see, we've got an interpreter here today. That is Kiara Moore signing my introduction. We'll meet her in just a moment. Now, I'll tell you, I've been following Ronnie McKenzie on Instagram for quite a while now. He is a deaf-blind dad with more than 1 million followers. He does a lot of fun interpretation videos. Here he is explaining why American Sign Language should be taught in schools.
I feel like ASL should be a primary language that's taught in all schools. Kids with disabilities, nonverbals, kids with autism should not feel left out. So please help me stop communication barriers today. Being the only deaf kid on both sides of my family and nobody knew ASL, that's wrong. That's why I built my platform. This is why I do what I do. Thank you for all the support.
Yeah, I think some really important work that needs to be done, spreading the word about American Sign Language. So here we've got our panel of ASL interpreters. We've got Kiara, who we were just chatting about, and we've got Tim Thorne, ASL interpreter and a fashion icon, if I may call you that. And we've also got Sandra Gillespie joining us as well. Now, Sandra, you are an interpreter and you are what they call a coda. So Ronnie is a deaf-blind dad, and he was the only deaf child in his family, but your situation was reversed.
Correct. Yes. I'm the oldest of the oldest of four. I was being a coda and the oldest. You know, you carry more responsibilities than your younger siblings.
Okay, so coda is
child of deaf adults, which means that my parents were deaf.
Okay, so you had to do a lot of interpreting growing up.
Yes, because at the time there wasn't. There was the American Disability Act hadn't come into play back in the late 70s.
Okay.
Late 70s. So a lot of times my parents had to go to like social services built places, appointments, Social Security office, or to the doctor's, my mom's doctor's appointments.
Okay, so even in the doctor's office.
In the doctor's office.
Even the OBGYN, you interpreted for your mom.
I was 10 years old. And I was interpreting my first gynecology visit.
Wow. Yes. It's not awkward at all. Yeah, no.
Now, I mean, the interesting thing, I still had no clue what I was doing and what was going on. Okay. But until I became an adult,
all right.
I was like, oh, I remember doing this. And so, yeah.
And then you made a career out of it.
I decided in 1988, I started working in the educational setting first, and I became a certified interpreter in 1989.
Oh, okay. And then Tim, you've been doing this a while as well.
Yes, I have. I started out as a speech therapist.
Nice.
And then I ended up switching over to deaf education and became a deaf education teacher. So I probably taught like half of the deaf people in Houston.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Which most of them are adults now. But yeah, I started at kindergarten, deaf.
Wow.
All the way up to college. And so, so I've been in deaf education most of my life. And I still am, because now I'm doing a little bit of interpreting.
Okay.
Which a lot of people like, what? You interpret? Like, only thing we know about you is fashion.
Yeah.
But because of this woman right here, she told me, she said, I know you're leaving the educational setting, but you cannot stop interpreting because you forget.
Yeah.
And not only that, but she's always encouraged me. I am the first black man in Texas to be certified as an ASL interpreter. And so that's another
incredible.
reason why, because she's very big in the deaf community with the deaf organizations. And so she knows the impact that I still can have, you know, in the deaf community.
Yeah, and you're here today spreading the word about it.
Yes.
Now, Kiara, you are also a performance interpreter. So that means you do concerts and all sorts of things?
Yes, I do a little bit of everything. That's my fun work, but I work all over in the community, and then I also teach college courses for interpreting.
Okay, are you one of those interpreters at the concerts that's like adding a little extra to it?
We don't add extra, we match the dynamic.
Okay.
If the performer is being extra, then it's just my job to match.
Oh, absolutely.
She's really saying that so sweetly and so nice, but that's some work.
Yes, it is.
Because it's the language and all the idioms and the idiosyncrasies that's in music.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
yes.
Like when you're interpreting rap, it's not just like how we're saying things today.
Right.
You really have to study. You have to kind of know the artist, and just like she was saying, and even as an interpreter, performance interpreter like her, you have to match like their performance energy. You know what I'm saying?
So what happens if there's a word that you have not seen interpreted before, even ahead of time of a performance, and you're like, I don't know if I've seen that one before.
So, because interpreting isn't just word for word, it's usually what's the meaning. And it's sometimes I may not understand one word, but I can understand at a phrasal level or at like the song's context level what it's about. Of course, before I get there, I've done a lot of research on the artist. I also interpret like Broadway, so you do a lot of research on what's going on in the plays and whatnot, just like as you would with any performance, right?
Okay, all right, so intriguing. All right, we gotta learn more about how you all make this happen, but first we gotta take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with more.
Come back to me. I've got the feeling. Come back to me.
It is National Speech, Language, and Hearing Month, and we have got a panel of certified ASL interpreters. Now, I have seen some uncertified interpreters, some imposters pop up we've seen on the news here and there. So could y'all explain how that happens? What is the difference between somebody who is certified and somebody who is just signing or supposedly signing?
Supposedly signing, yes. So there's a lot of people who think that ASL is a beautiful language, and I agree with them, and everyone should learn ASL, but becoming a certified interpreter takes a lot more training, linguistic training, and making sure you understand both modes of communication and cultures and all of that. And Texas actually has a certification through BEI, the Board of Evaluation of Interpreters, that a person can get certified as an interpreter. And there's 3 levels to it. There's a basic that you have to take, like your entry level, right?
Okay, all right.
Just got done learning it, now you go take the test. Can you be an interpreter? Then there's advanced, and then there's master, and then there's also in there somewhere a medical interpreting certification and a legal interpreting or court interpreting certification for those specialties. Okay, so
Tim, when it comes to the medical and legal, how long are we talking when it comes to trying to get those certifications? Because the legal and I'm thinking there's so many words that you have to learn.
Yes, it is. And it really depends on the individual as to how much time they invest in learning the terminology and the whole system, how court works. It's not just terminology, but you got to know how laws, how they should be interpreted. And then not only that, but sometimes you may get a deaf person that may not be as educated to understand some of the lingo. Like, you don't have to be deaf not to know that. I mean, I'm the same way. If I went to court, like, a lot of the language I don't understand. So I would need my attorney to interpret that to me, explain that to me, that terminology.
Yes, it's like you have to be as smart as an attorney to do this. Sandra, when it comes to these different careers, like what are the options that we have out there for people who want to get into these types of careers?
We have the community colleges here in Houston. They have some phenomenal instructors. Kiara is one of those instructors. Kiara came out of the program at University of Houston. We have the Houston City College. They offer an interpreting training program, and then we have Lone Star College. They offer ASL, as well as if you're interested in becoming an interpreter. And once you complete like the interpreting program, if I'm not mistaken, in the state of Texas, you're required to have a degree now.
Okay, and then once you have what you need, we mentioned, in the courtroom, and
so those are specialty tests.
Okay.
So once you have to become so Kiara's certification is under the new system. Tim and I certification is under the old
We're
system.
grandfathers.
okay.
So now, if I believe if I'm not mistaken, you need to have your advanced certification
Right,
before you can go
sit for
consider
the medical
and
court.
take the medical interpreting or the court interpreting as
right.
well.
Okay, but I want to know, what are the options available, like
As
for
an
careers as an interpreter?
Oh,
Honestly, it's
everything.
Okay.
Everything that we do as people who are adulting humans in the world, deaf people do as well. So I've worked. We can all say we've worked in some very interesting places.
Okay, guys, spill it.
It could range from educational, K through 12, so post-secondary,
Or
doctor's
interpreting for
offices.
the vice president.
Oh,
Or
okay,
the
very
president.
nice.
Yeah,
Or,
be president.
you know,
Right.
Comic-Cons, like I said, Broadway plays, anywhere
Yes.
that a person is interested in being,
Yes.
if they want full access, and
Yes.
if the place wants to follow the law and provide full access, interpreters are usually able to be there.
Yes.
I've been in a prison.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Same.
Not an inmate, but just
Not in the jumpsuit, but you were there. Okay, gotcha.
You know, interpreting in the prison, the jail. Back then, I did a lot of drug and alcohol interpreting, parole, probation visits. Delivering babies, hospitals.
Oh, wow,
Yes.
yeah.
And
didn't
I've
think
even
about-
interpreted for a heart surgery.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, Tim. Like, okay.
No, I was terrified.
I have to give you your props. And we talked about how interpreting has also been incorporated into culture. So, I'm giving you your props.
yeah,
like this,
yeah.
a lot of people have been using this. We've used it previously on the show, but this actually comes from sign language.
Yes.
Yes.
This is the number 8.
Aha.
In sign language, you can count up to a gazillion on one hand.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay.
9, 10, 11.
So when people have been doing this,
Yes.
it's because
They've
it's
been
like
clocking
you.
it
And
yeah.
okay,
And
and
it's the
you
number 8.
ate.
Yeah, you ate.
And you ate.
You ate.
Oh, yes. Okay, look at that. Okay, what's something else that we've seen pulled from the culture?
Like this.
Okay.
I'm good with it.
Okay.
I'm good with, yeah.
Okay.
And this is like the most common. Are you good?
You good?
Everything's okay?
Yeah.
That came from sign language. Good to know.
Yeah.
Now, Tim, you mentioned being the first Black man in Texas to get certified. How important is it to have a more Black representation when it comes to ASL?
It is paramount. From being an educator, I've seen how children can relate when they see somebody that looks like them. I will forever be grateful
Yes.
to have been in those spaces with them, to be, I wouldn't say like a role model, so to speak, because I'm not deaf, but someone that they could be able to communicate with and teach them language.
Yeah. And also to add on what Tim said, I recall one of the students that I worked with years ago. He said that his interpreter, who didn't look like him, the professor was talking about Ice T and Ice Cube.
Oh,
But
okay.
the interpreter was interpret the word iced tea as the iced tea
Like
that
the
you
drink.
drink.
Okay.
And so the
Yeah.
communication was a little bit confusing. So and just so happened
That's a good point.
the student knew it didn't make sense. And he said, well, what is the teacher talking about? And then the interpreter said, I think he's talking about a person. He says, but you're signing the sign for a
Literal
drink.
sign.
You know, I've been to a restaurant where they have a picture of iced tea on the iced tea. So, but, you know, we got to get it together somehow. Well, thank y'all so much for all the work that you were doing and spreading the word and helping to bridge these gaps in communication. So keep it up. Thank you so much. All right, guys.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Hey, okay, I love it. Okay,
And you ate today.
And I ate today. Thank y'all. We're gonna take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we've got siding for babies and toddlers. All right, let's do this. Teaching your baby how to ask for more milk, please, could be the difference between a meltdown and a smoother experience for the moms and pops out there. So joining us, we've got Norma and Terry Townsend, the owners of the learning experience in both Eldridge and Spring. Welcome to Chattin' with Chelsea.
Great, we're glad to be here.
We're glad to be here, Chelsea.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, so you all actually help teach babies and toddlers how to sign at your schools. Why is that something that you believe is important to do?
Well, we are always integrating sign language into our curriculum. And sign language, like any foreign language, sign language helps kids to develop both cognitively and emotionally. It helps them connect with other kids, and especially for infants, they can learn to sign before they can learn to speak. And so it's fostering communication skills, and infants who learn sign language speak on average. Research shows infants learn to speak more quickly or earlier and speak better.
Okay.
Because of the sign language skills that they've learned. And so that's incorporated into the learning experience curriculum.
And that can help them build that confidence. So if they're able to communicate quicker and earlier, then, you know,
it also develops fine motor skills. Think about it, little kids
yes.
And
just learning to
finger dexterity.
Yes.
just learning to move their fingers and eye-hand coordination. It improves development in many aspects.
Another reason they can be proud of themselves. I love that. Do you see a difference with the children who actually have mastered or at least grasped the concept of sign language when it comes to like the little babies or the younger ones who may not be able to talk and say what they need as much?
Well, all of our kids learn it, so we don't, we don't know what the difference is.
Or even before they learn it, before they get to that point.
Well, it develops connection with teachers and with each other, and so sure, we see a difference all the time.
And also it connects with the parents, especially when they're getting frustrated and the parents learn how to do the sign language, they can communicate that way instead of screaming and things like that.
Oh yeah.
Very important.
If we can avoid screaming, we would love to do that.
Exactly.
Yeah, oftentimes kids cry because they don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. You know, what else is an infant going to do but cry? And learning sign language, I mean, we don't want to claim it solves all problems, but it certainly it helps children development and children develop. And our purpose is to get every child ready for kindergarten in every aspect, and sign language is integrated into that curriculum, and it helps.
And Norma, you mentioned the parents learning as well. So how do y'all teach the parents to better communicate with their children who are learning sign language at your schools?
Well, we have a curriculum, and we give them the curriculum to learn.
Okay.
And sometimes we tell them, you know, this is how we do it, you know, and then they learn how to do it. And
parents pick it up at drop off and at pick up time.
Okay.
We're learning it from teachers, with parent-teacher conferences and other things.
And then this is something that they learn, they can learn the whole time that they're in the learning experience up to...
Yeah, sign language is integrated into the curriculum in all ways. It's not just, you know, stop for 15 minutes, do sign language, and then move on. No. Everything is taught with sign language throughout the day, throughout the you know, if a child starts as an infant and stays with us till 5 years, they're going to be learning
They're
sign
gonna-
language the whole
A
time.
lot of
Yes, building that vocabulary. Got it. Okay, so Norma, you're going to help me learn. I learned a little bit earlier in the show, but you're going to help me learn some that you all use for the babies and the toddlers. So
Okay.
did I get the milk right?
Milk.
Milk.
Yeah, this is
okay.
milk.
That's something that
And
the parents
drink.
can use. Okay,
Drink.
drink. Doesn't matter what hand I'm
Yeah,
using?
and then
No, it
you
doesn't.
No, okay.
say
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, we need to teach them that for sure. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Gratitude.
And then when I'm sorry,
Oh.
sorry.
Okay.
And then just say I love you every day. You tell
It's
those
a lot
babies
easier
every
than
day.
doing that.
Okay, all right. Because you
Yeah,
got to
those
remember
are-
the fingers.
Yeah, little
We
kids
don't.
with little hands have trouble with that. but
Yes,
this
so they
is,
could do that.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
all right. Well, that is a great starting point. I think some parents can get on those right away, and that'll even help at home. Where
That's
do people
right.
find more information about your schools?
Well, we have a website, we have a Facebook page, The Learning Experience Eldridge, The Learning Experience Spring, or The Learning Experience nationwide.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Terry and Norma, for coming in and showing us about all about your program. And well, thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right, guys, we're
Yeah.
going to take a quick
Yeah,
commercial break. We'll be
yeah.
right back after this.
I've got the feeling. Come back to me.
Thank you for watching this episode of Chattin' with Chelsea. Subscribe and like us on YouTube at Chattin' with Chelsea. Keep up with us on social. Chelsea Fox 26. Wardrobe provided by Trezor Cache Boutique. We'll see you on the next Chattin' with Chelsea. Love you guys.